On this edition of Taking Advantage, we'll help you decide if there should be a home computer in your future. You'll discover that there's a stateroom on a luxury liner for regular folks like you and me. And we'll give you a crash course in do-it-yourself home repairs. These stories and more coming up on Taking Advantage, the program about you and your money.
Welcome to another edition of Taking Advantage. We're here each week with up-to-the-minute money-saving ideas for you. Hi, I'm Sybil Rumson.
And I'm Jerry Graham. Sybil, would you mind telling me where we are?
Sure, in the future. That's what computers are all about. As a matter of fact, experts predict by the year 2000, computers are going to be doing most of our work for us. All we're going to be doing is feeding in instructions.
I don't know. I've been getting along very well without one. Besides, I hate the idea of giving in to all this technology.
Oh, come on, Jerry. It's not giving in. It's just taking advantage. Besides, computers are becoming more user-friendly all the time.
Hello, Jerry. No need to be apprehensive or negative. We computers are just here to serve you. Sybil has been programmed with some information that will put you at ease.
Competition in the more than $10 billion a year computer industry has never been tougher. Many of the new models out this year are aimed directly at you, and millions of advertising dollars will carry the message that not buying a computer will leave you and your family behind.
The commercials on TV show one side of the story, but it's not until you really see the computer and touch it and play with it and see what kind of software is available for it and those types of things do you know whether it's really going to be useful for what it is that you want to do.
Get out and research and do a lot of legwork, because the more research you do before you buy the computer, the less likely you are to make a mistake.
And any mistake can be a costly one. Even the relatively inexpensive and top-selling Commodore 64 system could set you back $700. And some of the more prestigious personal computers sell for $3,000 to $5,000.
Even before you start shopping, ask yourself not what sort of computer system you want, but what specific things you want to do with a computer. Now you're shopping for the right solution.
If you only want something to balance your checkbook, a $5 calculator will do just fine. And if you want just games, you can get a player for under $100. Not buying a computer you don't need is one of the best ways to save big money. We're shopping with the Reed family. They fit the profile of first-time buyers. Upscale, professional, educated. They know just what kind of programs or software they want to use in a computer.
Our major consideration is word processing, but we're also looking for spreadsheet and some graphics. But we want it to be an educational tool as well.
I like computers. I like to work with them.
The children particularly are going to grow up in a world that's computer adaptable.
And while the Reeds think it over, let's see if we can adapt to these computers too.
Buying a computer system is a lot like buying a stereo system. They're both made up of components. Now, this box is the actual computer. Inside is a chip. That's a microprocessor, which does the actual brain work. Also inside here are 2 disk drives. They work sort of like a record player. And this is the record. It's called a floppy disk. Now, the disk contains a program which tells the computer what to do. And this is your keyboard, which allows you to talk to the computer, whether you want to do your accounting or play video games. So to get started, all you do is put the disk in here, and you're ready to go.
But not all computers have all those components included in their base price. A monitor or a printer could be an extra cost, so shopping can get confusing for everybody.
How much is that $1,400 computer?
$3,900. No, Max. The $1,400 is $4,800. The $600 is $3,900.
I thought the $1,100 was $4,800 and the $500 was $3,900.
You stand corrected.
Whether it's a word processing program or home accounting, choosing the right software for your new computer is critical, but you have plenty of other decisions too. Like, how do you want to give orders to your computer? Through a keyboard? That's standard. Or how about one of the new touch screens? Maybe even a mouse. That's a device you use as a pointer on your electronic blackboard. 2.5 million personal computers will be sold this year, and everyone is fighting for a bigger piece of the pie. By May of 1984, more than 125 companies competed for about half the market. Radio Shack's models accounted for 12%. The Apple Computer Company had staked out second place with 14%. And IBM led the pack, selling 1 out of every 5 personal computers in the United States. For the big two, Apple and IBM, 1984 has been a landmark year.
6 months ago, people were starting to think Apple was fading and that maybe it was going to be IBM and somebody else, or maybe just plain IBM. Apple's resurgence in the marketplace has definitely established those two as the two leaders in the personal computer industry.
First, IBM entered the market with the long-awaited PC Junior, or Peanut. At half the cost, it was meant to be the home version of the top-selling IBM PC. And shortly after, Apple introduced the Macintosh, a computer the company claimed was every bit as groundbreaking as this commercial.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh.
What we tried to do was make a machine that people could use without having to become computer jocks. You want it to just be a useful tool by itself. Forget about it being a computer. It's just something that does the job for you.
Apple claims to have designed a new generation of user-friendly computers for people turned off by keyboards and complicated codes. Except for word processing on the Macintosh, you don't use a keyboard. You make your commands by moving the mouse around on the table and picking and choosing from the menu displayed by the computer. Well, that was enough to convince the Reed family. By purchasing a Mac in its first 100 days on the market, they helped Mac become the best-selling new personal computer ever released.
Basically, we were looking for an application for the whole family, and one with the ease of use. And the Macintosh can be learned in minutes rather than days or weeks.
And so far, despite best efforts, the IBM PC Junior has not done as well. Some blame the chiclet-style raised keyboard. Some blame price. Others say with a little fine-tuning, IBM will turn that around because consumers still trust the IBM name and the thousands of programs already developed for IBM systems.
You're getting, of course, the IBM reputation for quality and for service. You're getting state-of-the-art technology. You're getting a system that's compatible with a wide range of other systems and can take advantage of that software base, and a system that will be compatible with new systems in the future.
Who knows what's on the drawing board? The compact computer came out of nowhere a few years back to become the best-selling portable. And recently, IBM, Apple, and Hewlett-Packard have introduced new portables of their own. If the relatively high prices you'll have to pay to get into the computer market have you scared, there are other options. First, you could shop carefully for one of the used computers on the market. They can usually be found for up to 50% off. Or try renting a computer until you learn what you need. Or you might even start with one of the least expensive computers and move up later. Whatever you decide, happy computing.